what are different aspects of Juvenile Hall and then the sports coaching, that you take with you that you enjoy?
Yeah, it's actually less of the sports experience for sure. I love playing sports. I've played
Yeah.
sports my entire life, and I love getting out there and still running around with the kids. But it's really the aspect of when kids get it, when that light bulb goes on, and they go,
Mm.
"Oh, yeah, I understand that." Um, that for me has been when I walk out of Juvenile Hall and there's been moments like that, or any program, it lights me up. It just I know I've I've influenced a life in that moment, and I've helped someone potentially change direction, change course, and potentially live a better life.
So what method has been useful for you when it comes to getting the kids to understand you fully? Has it been things like stories? Has it been things like full circle? Like, what have you used?
Much of it is in the experiential learning.
Mm.
So, for instance, we play walking soccer across all of our programs. At some point in the program, they'll play walking soccer. It is one of the most frustrating games you've ever played because there's a soccer ball and you want to run after it.
Yeah.
But what we do is we bring the groups to kids together and we say, right, we're going to play walking soccer. The rules are simple. You play soccer, but you can only walk. If you get caught running, there's going to be a consequence. And we come up with a consequence. It's something like push-ups or star jumps or something silly. And
Yeah.
then we play. And then obviously you get the kids who are running after it and everyone laughs and says, five push-ups, and right, does the 5 push-ups, and then we play. But then you get that moment where a kid goes to run but stops himself. Right. And then we can stop that moment and say, young man, that is self-control. That
Wow.
feeling you just had of stopping yourself running, that's what self-control looks like. And then we challenge the kids to say, what would self-control look like at home, in your school, in your community? And so it's very much the experiential learning that really brings it home more than anything.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like that. It resonates with me because I catch myself doing that often. I mean, we all do. We all catch ourselves doing that. You go to prepare a meal that's probably not the healthiest for you, and you go, you know what? Actually, instead of this, I'm going to get something that's within the diet that I know I should be eating.
Yep.
If you're fasting and you're like, oh, I want to eat something, you go, but I have another hour left and I can get through that hour. Let me drink some water. Let me go on a walk. Let me distract myself in a positive way and stop myself from giving in to that, desire
Mm-hmm.
very quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah, how are those moments for you when you see that?
Unbelievable. That's
Yeah,
that's the moments where it's just
makes it
incredible.
all worth it. Makes
It
it
does.
worth every minute.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And how have you what are some aspects of your business, like your athletic business, that you've carried over from coaching the kids? Is it the same sort of? Do you do the experiential thing, or
Um,
is it a different method because they're older?
uh, it's still experiential. You've still got to get them into the experience. And then so when I moved from, and I'm still doing Pure Game, obviously, but when I made that transition, because I didn't know whether Pure Game was going to come back after COVID. So I
Yeah,
stepped into this business coaching world. And all I did was understood that I'm really just working with big kids who have
yeah,
not really grown up from being a little kid on the sports field.
yeah,
They've still got the same mindset, the same challenges, the same issues. We're all the same. We're all big kids at heart, really.
yeah,
And so, yeah, talking to them in the same way, getting them to relive an experience within their sport is typically the way that we can figure that out. Um, that they can feel the emotion, because it's the emotion that creates the action that we want, right? I can
yeah.
get them to think a certain way, but it's not thoughts that create actions. It's thoughts that turn into emotion that creates the action that they desire. And so a lot of it is, how do we tap into the emotional piece of that? And sometimes it's through activity. Simple case of walking and coaching at the same time. I'm actually thinking of taking it to mountain bike coaching, where we're actually on a mountain bike, and I'm going to do a mountain bike coaching session. So we're coaching while we're riding. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, can we relate whatever we're teaching to a moment in their life, or to a story in their life, or to something that they understand and can relate to? That's really the key behind it.
Okay. So you find that sports is a very good way to compare because not everyone understands sports, but a
Mm.
large majority of the population understands sports to an
Yeah,
extent. They understand one sport, and if
yeah,
you understand all sports, you can reach a great number of people with that.
yeah. Sports can be one of the best analogies for coaching, business, life, whatever it is you're going through. I mean, take soccer for instance, is an easy one to go with. We all know the purpose of soccer, right? I'm going to score more goals than you in a game, and I win. So it's the goal in soccer that gives me direction and purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yes.
so it gives my team direction and purpose. We all know where we're heading when we've got a goal in front of us in the game of soccer. And then you just translate that into the world of life and say, how about your goal setting in life in general? Have you got any goals? Have you got any written goals, right? Are they big goals or the little goals? What are they? And so you can relate the game of soccer to goal setting.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when you just said right now that you relate the game of soccer to goal setting, are there different sports that you use to convey different messages? Or are they
Um,
all relatively the same?
they're all relatively the same.
Yeah.
I've I've had a passion for water my entire life.
Mm.
I love the idea of water and what it does, and so a lot of what I'll do is potentially bring it into water sports, water
Mm.
polo, golf,
Yeah.
rivers flowing, you know, canoeing, all of that good stuff is where I'll sit with some of it. But yeah, it doesn't matter the